Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for today, the selling drugs become a life savior in urban poverty. So based on our project Dana Kembali ke Sekolah to ease the parents' burden in B40 level to provide their child with the proper needs for education. So it's an assistance for the B40 family, but it's not a perfect solution to eradicate the poverty in urban and rural areas. So this is as a signal for the government to take action on eradicating the poverty issue, and also the poverty issue consequences which may lead to the crime and also social disorder. So people living in poverty can be more vulnerable because they can be doing a crime which is such as a drug trafficking, because the drug trafficking is the fastest and easiest way to make money. So they have a urge to find the sources of money, and also becoming stressed when they does not have any resources that they can depend on. So the project to create awareness, which this effort to help the communities and also to prevent the social decline and also slowing the urbanization. So for the first issue regarding a took shortcut by selling drugs to survive. So people selling drugs choose it as a shortcut for a person to gain profit and also shift from a small time dealer to a local distributor to be a kingpin and beyond. So the dealer can deal with a best price which will benefit him and also gain profit with his own stock of products. So money is an ultimate goal for a drug dealer since it can help them to get out of poverty. It is because they live in low income area that is not comfortable for economic situation. So lastly, the fact that these people do not have a stable form of income and leads them to drug trafficking, because it is the fast and vast amounts of money that can come from selling drugs.
Another issue that can be seen is where a teacher was desperate enough to sell drugs to earn money because the salaries are now not enough. The high cost of living is the main issue why the teachers are taking this path. The 49-year-old man activity were revealed when he was arrested by a police team from the Muka District Narcotic Crime Investigation Division while conducting an integrated ops at approximately 10:11 a.m. The teachers were admitted to selling drugs on a small scale since the beginning of the last year in palm oil plantation areas in Selangor and Muka due to financial problems. As can be seen, this teacher is having difficulties in sustaining his basic needs. This has made the teacher sell drugs to get out of the poverty.
The last issue is Malaysia public attention was drawn to an issue that emphasized the drug addiction problems among teenagers. Selling drugs does not require a lot of time and skills to develop before selling. As an illustration, poverty limits them from purchasing power. Therefore, they used to sell drugs to earn higher amount of money in a short of period, and they use the money to fulfill their desire. A study in 2019 found that 2,169 drug abuse involved students from primary school, secondary school, and also university college. It is believed that children who are neglected by parents often started taking drugs to fit in with the particular group. At this age, they are in identity crisis stage whereby the curiosity within themselves are very strong.
Government seen as one of the important roles in curbing the issues that has been stated. People often questioning on what has the government does to prevent and curb the poverty. Therefore, I am here to explain the initiative took by our government. Ministry of Local Government Development Malaysia, or known as Kementerian Pembangunan Kerajaan Tempatan, is the ministry that should have taken the issue of poverty as their main concerns. Program Pembasmian Kemiskinan Bandar PPKB as one of the program under KPKT, which it was introduced to lessen the burden of dependence of poor family in the city, raise the capability and quality of life of poor families in the city for the well-being of the community in the framework of shared prosperity. In addition, PPKB's key demographic comprises of households from the B40 group having citizenship status and poverty status confirmed in the e-KASI system or focus group meetings on poverty eradication at the state or district level, as ordered periodically by the federal government.
Other than that, the local municipal council also played an important role that can be seen from the involvement of Selangor Local Municipal Council to launch the program that helped to alleviate poverty which related to education. This is Kerajaan Negeri Selangor Program Hijrah. One of the objectives of the program is to increase the education aid grants to empower young generation of Selangor, which is the second generation, to help to ease the burden of the household head. Tabur Pendidikan Pekerja Ladang is one of the program initiative given by the government so that the new generation of farm workers can boost themselves through the strengthening of knowledge and skills so that they can get out from the cocoon of poverty themselves. There is more than 15,000 people that have received the benefit from this implementation of the program with the total of allocation 8.7 ringgit Malaysia millions. Okay. Next is the society also have played an important role in recognizing and establishing non-governmental organization roles in the society, where the NGO become the representative for the society. Although the existence of the council for the use of prohibited substance, sex and other drug-related NGO had been recognized by the government. The organization, faced with the funding issues and legal provision that need the initiative by the government, which includes the legal provision creation to ensure the organization service are recognized and the stakeholder acknowledgement on the importance and roles of NGO in helping to combat and recover from drug addiction in the country. Other than MASAC, there are other drug intervention community Malaysia, or known as Committed Malaysia, where the main purpose of the organisation is to become a catalyst for development and change member toward more productive real life situation by reconstructing an identity as well as a new life for the former drug addicts.
Now we're moving on to the challenge. The first challenge is the emergence of the new type of drug that contribute to the increase in smuggling, distribution and drugs. New era drugs such as synthetic pills, ketone flavor vape, candy shaped drugs have made it more difficult for the police, custom and many more parties that related with drugs to detect them. Because of the variety of drugs, the income of selling drugs can be generated with different kind of income because each variety of drug have different range of price. For example, the price of cannabis type drug have different grades and price. Namely, for the grade 2 is around 2,800 ringgit Malaysia per kilogram.
Next is the second challenge, which is the geographical factor. As we know, the position of our country is close to the Golden Triangle drug production area, which is at the joint border of Thailand, Myanmar and Laos, as well as long and difficult to control border areas, where countless smuggling routes being used, especially the river routes and the sea routes. As example, Malaysia land border with the Thailand, which stretch about 576 km from Kuala Perlis in Perlis to Pengkalan Kubur in Kelantan is also full of lorong tikus or secret passage that the government have limitation in keeping track of each road.
The first suggestion is by forming a responsible society to give help on basic items. Cost of living is highly increased due to the economic situation, therefore they might not be able to live comfortably and have to struggle in continue living. Communities can also play their role in participating in any program that aims to prevent the issue from being worse. For example, they're responsible for giving help to the poor residents that live in urban areas. Yayasan Hasanah is the best example, which is an impact-based foundation owned by Khazanah Nasional collaboration with Yayasan Sejahtera to implement projects to eradicate poverty using the community-based approach. It is a model approach to address the needs of poor urban and rural communities in eradicating poverty. Communities can also give moral support to those who need it by encouraging them to join youth and parent education and training to boost their physical and mental health that prevent community to live in poverty.
Police have admitted that it is difficult to curb the smuggling activities along the border in Kelantan. Having a strict control across the Thailand and Malaysia border is essential in preventing drug trafficking. This can be achieved through various measures such as increasing the number of border patrols, installing advanced surveillance systems, and implementing strict laws and penalties for those caught trafficking drugs. By strengthening border security, authorities can effectively disrupt the flow of illegal drugs and make it more difficult for traffickers to operate. Additionally, working closely with international partners and sharing intelligence can also help in the fight against drug trafficking and keep both countries safe. It is important for both Thailand and Malaysia to take a strong stance against drug trafficking and do everything in their power to prevent it from occurring. However, we have seen that recently the Royal Malaysian Custom Department stepped up checks at the border gates to curb the smuggling of cannabis, including products containing banned substance into Malaysia.
From our findings on the survey that have been conducted, we can conclude that the respondent that answered this survey is the majority above 18 years old, where it holds 57.1%. The majority of respondents have a family size of 4 and more than 6, which is 23.2% respectively. Most of the respondents are degree holder, whereby it holds 32.1%. For Section B, which is selling drugs, 51.8% of respondents think that selling drugs cannot prevent poverty in urban area. Not only that, the majority of respondents agree that poverty makes people want to sell drugs. For the knowledge section, most of the respondents are aware regarding the drug trafficking, which it holds 75%. For the society attitude section, most of the respondents agree that our society is too tolerant toward drug abuse, whereby it consists 53.6%. Not only that, most of the respondents agree that people with drug dependence don't deserve sympathy. Program Dana Kembali ke Sekolah does not bring good initiative that fully can prevent the poverty. Based on the discussion, we have seen that people with lower income are still suffering with poverty, which lead to the crime, where drug trafficking has become main sources to sustain their life. For our findings, there are few factors that might cause people to sell drugs. However, engaging in drug abuse is not the best course of action, since that would be against the law in Malaysia. Therefore, if the government, society and NGOs fail to focus on academic, it will cause problems that will have in urban sociology, such as crime, where the example is drug. Thank you.
Rumah sering dijadikan port pengedaran dan penagihan.